welcome to the KF Podcast. This is Dawn, and I'm here with Chuck.
What's up?
We got Rob and Ken in the car. Say hello.
Hey.
We are on our way to see AEW Wednesday night
Dynamite.
So this is our journey video that we're making. And Chuck, first time on our show, Chuck's going to be doing in-depth, what's the word I'm looking for?
Expert analysis
of wrestling. So, we're going to talk about, as Ken almost kills us, we're going to talk about...
It's a fucking bump in the road.
We're going to be recording our whole event, our journey down there. We're just leaving Pittsburgh right now.
Aren't you guys excited about that?
Aren't you excited?
Nonsense?
And then we're going to record from the show and talk about the matches after. First, we're going to make predictions. So, on to predictions. Here we go.
Sorry.
There's Ken driving. Hi, Ken. And there's Rob in the front seat.
Hey.
There's his beer. All right, so Rob, what's the first match?
So the opening contest is Cody versus Sammy Guevara.
Wonderful.
Okay. What do you think about this match? What's the purpose of this match? Who challenged who?
I think, from my understanding, it was Cody wanted to wrestle him because he's got a lot of talent or something. They kind of make it seem like it's really giving Sammy Guevara a chance, more like he's just a good wrestler that they want to show some spotlight to, and he's taking it personally.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think right now the whole narrative of this match is that Cody's overlooking Sammy because he's already focused on the Full Gear pay-per-view against Chris Jericho.
Where he gets a title shot.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the narrative up to this point has kind of been Sammy stating Cody's overlooking me, and Cody has said that's not the case, but yet still continues to do online banter with Mr. Chris Jericho.
Okay.
I think that I like Sammy Guevara. I think he's extremely talented. I don't think that they've done a whole lot of character building. He does a lot of vlogs on his YouTube channel, so he's definitely an internet guy.
Right.
But he's a AAA. When they announced, I think it was in Vegas when they announced Double or Nothing, he was at that time one of the AAA title holders.
He was like welterweight or whatever. They're one of their like cruiserweight type.
Okay.
So a promotion like AAA found enough stock in Sammy to give him a title opportunity, in which he took advantage of. So he definitely is talented. I think it's going to be a good match. I think Cody's putting on some of the best matches that I've ever seen him in since leaving and starting AEW. So this match has every capability of continuing that.
So you just think do you think he puts Sammy over, or you just think he makes him look good?
I don't think that there'll be a clean finish in this match.
No, I don't think so either.
Something I would
interference.
Say, I would say maybe MJF gets involved and starts something with Sammy.
I also would be surprised if Jericho run in at some point in time.
Right.
Possibly.
Chuck, who do you like in this match?
I gotta go with Cody. I mean, I love Sammy. Been following him for a couple years. So.
Okay.
And saw some street talent in him back a couple years ago. He's gonna be big, but now it's not his time.
Okay. Ken, who do you like in this match?
I mean, I don't think that there's gonna be a winner. I think it's gonna be a interference thing, but I think this is gonna be a perfect two different styles making a great match. I think Guevara's size make Cody's strength look a lot better.
Yeah.
And Cody can take bumps for Guevara's high-flying antics, so it should be good.
Okay. I think Cody will win, but Sammy will look real strong in it.
I also would be surprised. I mean, I'd hate to see it for the first match, but time limit draws are definitely a thing in AEW.
Yeah.
So I would hate to see another one with another young guy coming up. It's very much, what was that guy that did that too?
Darby Allin.
Was it Darby Allin? Okay.
Yeah.
So
who do you like, Rob?
If I had to pick a winner, I'd say it would have to be Cody. They can't have him go into a pay-per-view losing a match on their debut on television. But I still am in the camp of not a clean finish.
Okay.
Somebody will win via DQ. Winner via DQ will be Cody, I think.
Okay. All right.
Next up, and I'm going by a Bleacher Report, which is very tied into AEW.
Yeah.
The next thing they say is that Jon Moxley will be appearing live.
Okay.
Which, we didn't have Jon Moxley in his match against Kenny at All Out. Really, not a whole lot has been said or discussed about Jon Moxley since his injury and surgery.
I think he'll interfere in that main event.
The Kenny,
six-man.
yeah.
Attack
Elite
Kenny.
versus
Yeah.
Proud and Powerful or
Yeah.
Jericho.
I would think that you would have to have some sort of physical interaction with Moxley to fire off a show like Dynamite. It can't just be a backstage segment or an interview, but they're definitely hyping Jon Moxley appearing live, so he will actually be in the building in DC. So
Okay. All right. What else we got?
the next match on the list is Rio versus Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's World Championship.
All right, let's go to Chuck. Chuck, who do you like in this match?
I like Rio, but I'm gonna have to go with Nyla Rose. Looks like they're gonna be pushing her to be one of the top women in AEW.
Okay. Ken?
I feel the same way Chuck does. They're going to have to push Nyla Rose to win this belt so she can be the monster of the women's division and set up a feud with someone else maybe. I'm trying to think who that could be right now, but she's probably going to be the face of that division while...
Do you feel she's a little too green to have this spot?
Yes, but I think that her style translates more to a U.S. audience than Rio.
Okay.
I think that while Rio's good, I think that Joshi style of quickness isn't 100% known to everybody, especially with this being the first televised event for the nation to see for free.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's going to be tough to have that go over, and that's where I think you get Nyla Rose, a very physical, imposing figure in the women's division.
All right.
She can definitely be a face. I think kind of like the WWE wanted Nia Jax to be, but dropped the ball at times. They can really pick it up and go with the Nyla Rose character.
What do you think, Rob?
I agree with Ken. I think that I think it's definitely going to be Nyla Rose as the first women's title holder. I think that the booker in my head would have to say that this should be a really quick match.
Total squash.
But the way that they're hyping this, and on some of the YouTube videos for like Road to TNT, they really focused a lot on the Joshis and Kenny's input into the women in this company. So I think this match is probably going to be just as long as they're going to allow it. I think it's going to be probably 15-20 minutes, which isn't going to make sense to a U.S. audience.
Yeah.
That's going to be long. I don't know if Nyla Rose can go that long.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I definitely think they're going to put the belt on Nyla Rose, and I think it's for some publicity. I think that it's a little bit of a publicity stunt based off her being a transgender woman. That'll cause headlines. That'll get attention. That'll make like front page news. That you have a first transgender woman, a women's champion. I think that's kind of what they're going for with her.
And they really, on the last episode of Road to TNT, they really emphasized her. Rio had made a statement that said, she's small, she had to fight for everything she's got, and Nyla countered that with she's had to fight for literally everything.
Yeah.
She's Native American, she's black, she's trans, so really they've never been secret about her transsexuality, but they've never really mentioned it either. And they literally did last week. Like they brought it to the forefront. So if anybody was,
well, it's smart. It brings a whole a section of people that into that to go, oh, I want to see this. This is something that they relate to.
I think on the indie scene, it's been very opening and welcoming to have a community like that to be welcomed into the indie wrestling community.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the first on a major scale where you get to welcome that, that community in with the rest of the wrestling crowd and really open up doors. So it's groundbreaking. And I think Nyla Rose is capable past the transgender whatever, to be a great champion. She's green, but you get better by working with better people. So if she starts a program as champ with Riho, I think it'll look good. I think it'll be fine. I like to see her wrestle new people, but it is what it is.
New people, not nude people.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Like, that's each.
All right, we're going to take one quick little break before we go into the next match here. All right, go ahead. What do we got next?
So next is MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus Brandon Cutler.
I think this match is a shit fest because I think Brandon Cutler stinks. I like MJF. I'm not impressed by anything Brandon Cutler does. He has no appeal to me whatsoever. I don't know. That's just me.
You know how you make a heel, a bigger heel? You have him go against like the biggest baby face in Brandon Cutler. And that's what's going to happen here. MJF's going to make him eat shit the entire match and beat him, and it's going to be really solidify MJF as the top heel.
MJF's good. I see a lot of potential with him. I know you don't like him personally, but I think I see a lot of potential with him.
Yeah, I think he's a motherfucker. But what are you going to do?
I refuse to buy him nachos.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Hate this guy.
He's good though. He's good at his job.
Yep.
He's got a big future, that kid, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that this match is built just to solidify that I'm better than you mentality. It's already been a social media war with I don't play D&D. That actually made it into a few more mainstream outlets. Like people didn't really get the context or know that it was a wrestler saying that, and people took offense. I think Joe Manganiello got caught wind of it. So he's doing everything a heel wrestler should do, and he's doing it right. And I think Brandon Cutler, I'm in the same boat. I don't have enough of his. I haven't seen enough of his wrestling portfolio.
I just thought he held the camera on being the elite.
Exactly.
That's his only job.
I think that this is, what is it? Narcissism. It doesn't have to be family to be narcissism. Hiring your own family or whatever.
Yeah.
It's very close to that. I mean, I'm not saying the guy is not talented, but he is where he is because he's the Bucks' friend.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So.
All right. What do you think, Chuck?
I mean, I love MJF. The guy just absolutely gets it. Brandon Cutler, I mean, there's a reason why he's out of the business for a little while, and suddenly got back in, at the right time. But he's okay. He'll be a good jobber there.
Okay. Gotta have a good jobber. What do we got next?
So next was a recently announced match, I think within the last week, is Hangman Adam Page versus the Bastard Pac. This one is one that was meant to happen at Double or Nothing, right?
Yeah.
And then there was whatever happened with Pac and not.
Is he going by Pac or Pac?
AEW is referring to him as Pac.
Okay.
So I think I've heard both variations, all depending on which promotion.
Okay.
But Tony Schiavone is emphasizing Pac.
Pac. Okay.
So we'll see what Jim Ross tears up when he starts.
I hope they give Hangman the win here, because I'm tired of Pac never being able to lose.
Yeah. I think once he dropped that Open the Dream Gate title, I think that slackened the reins on what he would do or would do or wouldn't do a little bit. I think that was strictly a European angle, and he was not willing to buck it by any means, and that caused internal rifts with Double or Nothing. But hopefully that's passed, and the whole Kenny thing at All Out was more a Kenny storyline than it was Pac. I think that Kenny probably would have lost to Moxley if that match had taken place, and they put Pac in that position and had him lose anyway.
Okay. So who do you like going over in this match?
Page. I think that you can't have Page drop too straight if he's going to be the future of your company.
Yeah. Ken?
I agree. I also wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is a perfect match for them to introduce someone new. If there is any surprises, you know what I mean? Like, this is the match that should be happening. It should have happened a couple times. I wouldn't be surprised if you see someone, surprise signing, surprise appearance, show up during this match, interfere, take them both out, and kind of insert themselves in the main
One of the
event
names
picture.
I heard going around is Jack Swagger.
Jack Hager.
Jack Strong, Jake Strong, whatever he goes by now, that he's no longer contracted under Lucha, that's one of the surprise signings.
Could be.
But I heard they're trying not to do like it's all ex-WWE guys are now here.
Yeah.
But I mean, who's not an ex-WWE guy?
Right.
I mean,
when they employ 300 wrestlers, yeah, it's tough.
I mean, you got ROH guys, but I think they're all most of them are under contract. There wouldn't be a lot of surprises there.
I feel like if I read correctly, and I could be wrong, the only one out of contract right now that would be a big signing is the former champion who just dropped the belt to Roosh. What's his name? Matt Taven.
Yeah.
Matt Taven.
Matt Taven's contract ended when he dropped the belt to Roosh on Saturday night.
Okay.
So Matt Taven appearance during this would be.
Yeah,
I'd be excited.
I like Matt Taven.
Because I also don't know if the whole kingdom was with him as well, because I don't know what TK O'Reilly or Kenny Marsalia's contract situation was. But
all right. Chuck, who do you like in this match?
Actually, Taven just resigned. He announced that last Saturday.
Oh, he did?
Oh, he did?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me, Chuck. All right.
Ken, what was that again? Fuck me, Chuck? Is that what you said? All right. Don't ask Chuck to do sexual stuff to you. Who do you like? Who are we even talking about? Hangman and
Hangman and Pac.
So, who do you like?
I like Hangman. I don't know. I'm not a real big fan of Pac.
Yeah, neither am I.
I don't think he should be one of the top guys in the company. I mean, he's
I don't
good,
get it.
But I don't get his appeal.
I don't get the love for Neville that people think he's so great. I don't know.
My wife loves him because she thinks he looks like a centaur.
He does look like a centaur. All right, who do we got next?
So before moving on to the main event, I don't know. This isn't officially on this card, but I do remember on Being the Elite, it was going to be another SCU versus
Lucha Jurassic Express.
Jurassic Express.
Okay.
So
That's on the pre-show.
Is it on the pre-show?
Dark match.
Okay, so it's
Okay.
it'll be a dark match. So we'll I guess we can review that one since we'll see it.
Yeah.
I think that Jericho had Luchasaurus on his podcast last week. They're very AEW is very high on the Jurassic Express. I think they're selling some merch. I think Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus in the tag team tourney just goes to show you that these were maybe a couple of guys who came out of left field for them and maybe are foreshadowing SCU a little bit, maybe a little bit more fan friendly. I think people are finally starting to cool on the whole SCU chants and things like that. So I would hope to see Jurassic Express go over in that match. I think there's more they can do with it, but I'm kind of in the camp that SCU is still one of the core signings of AEW. So I think they're still, I personally would like to see Jurassic Express, but I'm probably wrong in that match.
Okay. Anyone else?
So here's my thoughts on it. The point of any good stable, you can talk to Jim Ross about it, is to spin off and get people big. I think SCU, you get Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels there at the end of their career. This is all to spin and make, what's his name?
Scorpio
Sky a major player. I actually see Jurassic Express winning and starting the slow deterioration of that group. So hopefully we see a Scorpio Sky heel turn and get him into a solo run to a main event picture situation.
Chuck, who do you like in this match?
I'd have to go with SCU. I mean, it's gonna be a really good match. I like both teams, but I think you gotta go with SCU.
I agree with Chuck.
Okay, final match, main event. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho, Ortiz, and Santana.
I thought the best friends were wrestling the Dark Order.
That starts the. Is that the first round of the? No, that's next week.
Yeah, next week. Okay.
That might be a match too. I just don't think that.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, so the 6-man main event. I think like ROH, I think AEW is going to be very 6-man.
Did they announce Jericho's partners? Is it LAX?
Yes.
Yeah, they announced it last night.
Ortiz and Santana.
That seems like a bit of a letdown.
Well, I think there was a little bit. I think Jericho may have spilled the beans on that one. He did a all-out recap on his podcast and mentioned their run-in, but he didn't mention it kind of in the right order. And at the end of the comment, he had said Ortiz and Santana, I'm going to be doing something with them very soon. And everybody was like right away, well, you need 2 mystery partners, and he just said that. So I don't know if that's AEW just saying, hey, since since people were already under the assumption that's what it's going to be, let's just announce it.
And go with it.
Yeah, I think if it's going to be a complete surprise for your first show on TV, keep it a complete surprise. But if there's any inkling, they might as well announce it, just because to get more viewers. I mean, that's what this is really all about in the end, was making sure that their ratings compare to a WWE show that may be happening at the same time, or will be
I kind of feel like this match is going to have a ton of run-ins at the end of the show. Like, you see Moxley run in and start beating them up with that. That brings out Cody and starts fighting with Jericho, and
But the real question is, Bobby Lashley come out with a woman and make out with her?
Yes. Yeah. No. They bring Arn Anderson comes out and starts making out with Brandy Rhodes.
I think you see Kenny go crazy and break away from the Young Bucks in this.
Yes.
In this match.
Yep.
Yeah. You see
Yeah. So Being the Elite this week was a short 4-minute episode, and it was basically a voicemail from Matt to Kenny, kind of asking him what is going on, and expressing to him they need the old Kenny, they need the cleaner, and he kind of did a little swerve and went for the sunglasses and threw them in the trash. So that the rumor mill had been going around for a while that maybe we would see the cleaner version of Kenny, and apparently he has thrown that idea right in the trash can. I think we're going to see something completely different, and I'm happy about that. I think Kenny is the kind of performer that can be that versatile.
Okay.
Give us something new, give us something else, not
like
just
a heel version. Like
yeah,
he's against the Elite, and not with those guys.
just
anymore.
like a. I think the WWE did it wrong with Baron Corbin and the Lone Wolf.
Yeah.
But I could see Kenny pulling off a gimmick like that.
Okay.
Being just a lone wolf kind of guy.
So who wins the match?
I think that Jericho and LAX or Ortiz and Santana will
All right.
go over.
They
Ken,
have a new
you
name,
agree?
and it's like Pride and Powerful or something.
Okay.
Is that what you think, Ken?
Yeah, I think with Jericho being your champ and these new guys coming in, and with Kenny and the Bucks, they want to put people over, and storyline over wins and losses for them. I think,
right.
Yeah, you see Jericho win.
Chuck?
I'm just really happy to see the team formerly known as LAX and the Bucks in the ring together. I think it's going to be phenomenal. After that, I really don't care who wins. This is going to be a great match.
All right.
Everybody wins.
Everyone wins.
I think you're going to spin a lot of. I think that's going to be the next feud, are the Bucks and
LAX.
LAX,
Yeah.
because.
Are the Lucha Brothers on tonight?
No. Not that I'm aware of. They're not even. Are they in the tourney?
They're in the
They're in
tournament.
the tournament. Yeah,
They're fighting.
Some shots outside.
best friends.
Best friends.
Best friends are fighting SCU first.
Okay, so it's Luchasaurus.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The Bucks and LAX can continue, and tonight can just be, if it was a run-in at All Out, and this match, you don't get any closure from the run-in. So I could even see it spilling further into the tag team tourney, and maybe the LAX not being in it, costing the Bucks their match with Private Party.
Okay.
So I think we're going to see, probably, if I had to, if I was a betting man, I'd put money on the Bucks and LAX in Full Gear in November.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, that's our pre-game recap. That was
How can we recap it if it's a
our pre-game predictions. We had all that. We're about, how far are we now? How far have we been driving, Ken? About 45 minutes? Something like that? Half hour?
Yeah, we're like not even.
So we got a long way to go
Yes.
on our journey in 95-degree weather today to Washington,
Feels like
D.C.
it's 40 degrees in the car.
Because it is. And we'll see if we're right later on when we do our post-show wrap-up.
We're driving an hour.
All right, so there you go. A lot of solid predictions there. We'll see if they come true. I think everything Chuck said is right.
yeah, probably.
Because he's right. And
CM Punk will not show up.
no CM Punk. CM Punk's going to be on
If
Friday.
there's one CM Punk champ, I'm just punching Chuck right in the face.
Give me one surprise person you think could show up. I already said Jake Strong or whatever.
Well, I thought it was going to be what's his face, but I got told that was wrong.
Who?
Taven.
Matt Taven.
Matt
So what do you
Taven.
think?
All right, Chuck, a surprise person.
Because of what happened at the Game Changer show the other night, I'm gonna go on a limb and say Teddy Hart.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
Rob?
I'm going to say Johnny Dynamite. Or Johnny Mundo, Johnny Morris.
No, he signed to the WWE.
I don't think that they officially signed him.
You don't think that they did?
No.
Interesting. So you think he didn't sign, and it was a rumor, and now he's coming
Yes.
here. All right. Ken?
I don't know.
All right.
Wardlow's going to show up tonight.
All right, there you go.
Pittsburgh's own.
We'll find out. We'll be back with more. Well, here we made it to Washington. We're taking the T, or whatever that's the T. What is it?
Metro.
The Metro into the city for the show.
Yep.
Chuck still with us?
Can't see my big stupid head.
What? All right. We'll check in when we get to the place. So now we're in DC, still waiting on the show, and we're renting Lime scooters and zipping around town. Here comes Ken. Coming at you up fast. Is that the way to do it?
Yeah.
Now here goes Chuck. Hijinks before the show. Watch Chuck fall. And there he goes, he's off.
Okay.
All right, where are me and you walking to?
We gotta find more.
There's the Washington Monument. We made it without dying, riding these green things. Now where are we going? The White House? Showtime's what? We got about 40 minutes till we get in.
The door's open.
The door's open.
You got like 50 minutes.
Maybe the president's gonna come to AEW tonight. Nope. No signs. All right, so here we are outside of Capital One Arena. About to go in while this guy's jamming out over here. Just killing it. We lost Rob though.
We got his scooters.
We rode scooters.
This is what we're doing right here, scooters.
Take it, Ken.
I don't know this song.
Line's filling up already though, pretty good.
Turn right.
Someone's telling me to turn right. Pass. So where's Rob at?
He's a couple blocks away.
Is he riding?
I would hope so.
Okay. Shoot some more here in a minute. Looking good so far. Good crowd. Streets blocked off. A lot of energy. People being interviewed. Getting exciting. Or excited, whatever the word is. Right, Rob, you excited? Ken, you excited? You look angry. All right, so here we are in the arena before the show. There's Rob. What do you think, Ken, about the stage?
I mean, it looks the same as it has in the past. I like it.
Yeah. Those chandeliers.
Yeah.
Cool ring.
People are wooing.
Commentators are not ringside.
Where are they at?
They're off to the
Over here?
down there, yeah.
Stage right, yeah.
Away from the pyro.
Neat.
Metal guardrails.
Well, you get a big screen up there, too.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Check back in a minute. There we go. Beginning. All right, here we go. First match. First match
Does
ever.
Cody always get the
People are very excited. We got Jericho.
Don't lose it!
Cool stuff. Main event time. Jericho's got a cool entrance. Okay, well that's a wrap on the show. It's the next day. We went back to the room and all slept together in one giant bed and cuddled with Chuck.
Yep.
Now we're driving back to Pittsburgh and we're going to do a little review of what we thought. Were we right? Were we wrong? What we think about it? Expert analysis from Rob and Ken, and idiot analysis from me and Chuck. All right. So here we go. There's Ken and Rob.
Hello.
Hey.
So first match. I'll end Chuck. First match was what?
Darby Allin versus.
So that was dark matches. Are we doing dark matches?
Let's do the whole thing, the whole
All right.
experience.
All right. So we had a dark match with Darby Allin versus
Shima.
Yeah.
Zima Ion.
No,
Chima, whatever his name is. What'd you think about that match?
that was good. I was surprised at the pop that Darby Allin got. One of the biggest pops of the night.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Overall, what did Meltzer give it?
3.5 stars.
Okay.
I gave it a 3.5 stars.
Yeah, I thought he had a sweet coffin drop.
Yeah.
That's
Tried
good.
it a few times.
Yeah.
Didn't connect until the end, and then Sema picked up the victory.
Yeah, he was good. Like I said, I think it should have been on the main event, on the main show. But
Yeah, I think so too. It would have been better.
we'll get
than
into that.
other
Chuck, what'd you
matches.
think about that match?
It was one of my favorite matches of the night. It wasn't a fantastic match, but it was a really good match.
Yeah, it was decent. What do we have next on the pre-show?
That was it. That was the only one.
No, there was one other one, wasn't there?
Nope.
Yeah,
it was
one
just
right to
that.
Cody and
Cody and Sammy to open the show.
All right,
Yeah.
so it opened the show, and is there anything we didn't see it on TV, so I'm not sure what like some of the
the hype.
was going on. I know they had a pre-show on True TV going on where they were showing you a lot of
I
stuff.
think it was similar to what they showed last night, maybe.
Yeah, video package
Yeah.
about like getting there and everything and signing the deal and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it started with Cody coming out, which I thought was a really good image.
As far as the intro coming into the show, it was a very, at least if you saw on TV what we saw in the arena with the intro video with like the paint dust splash, and it was very well done. It wasn't cheesy. It wasn't independent wrestling-esque.
Yeah.
It was very high quality, good budget for a intro credits.
Yeah,
I
it looked
guess you
good.
could
I mean,
say.
way better than anything ROH has ever done.
Yep.
Yeah.
And good
It felt
pyro.
like Nitro to me, honestly, with the TNT logos and everything.
Good pyro.
Yeah, good
And
pyro.
I haven't been a fan of the chandelier type entrance. I
Yeah.
like the dual tunnels, but the chandelier thing I thought was just something maybe they do for the road up
Pay-per-views.
to TNT.
Yeah.
But when it came down and Cody came up the the false bottom elevator, it was a neat opening for a show that you were kind of we didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, the first image of him was really well done. I thought the way he came out. So let's get into that match. Cody versus
Sammy Guevara.
Sammy. What did you think about it, Ken?
Oh, that was really good. I think that those two, just like we predicted, I think the styles looked good together. I think we saw that Sammy was a little nervous at the beginning of the match. Maybe a little too quick. The timing wasn't right, but they got to it and they had a great match. The spot with Brandy was nice, where she had to take the bump, but then she tried to cheat to have Cody win. Like, shows that they're not the straight laced. They're willing to do what they need to do to win. So It was good overall, a good match.
Yeah, you definitely could see the nerves from Sammy maybe at the beginning. I mean, he's been on some big stages in Mexico, but nothing like this.
Yeah.
And there was a couple spots where you could tell he was going fast. Cody might not have been going as fast. My guess is there was probably a little communication between the two. Cody maybe calmed him down, slowed him down a little bit, and it really picked up after that. I gave it a 3 3/4 stars.
All right. Chuck, what'd you think about it?
Oh, I really liked it. I thought it really set up the night, having that match. Just looking at the whole card now from top to finish, I thought it really set up everything that's happened later. And like I said, Sammy looked a little nervous, but I think they pulled out a good match there.
Yeah, it was good. It was well done. Where'd they go to next after that match?
Well, after the match, Jericho showed up, jumped Cody,
Yep.
with the help of Sammy Guevara distracting him.
Yep.
So,
trying to play like he didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe a little foreshadowing.
Yeah. And, Jericho in true Jericho fashion just stole the show during a beatdown.
Yep.
It was great.
A lot of chants from the crowd about "Don't forget the belt," because that's kind of been since the belt was lost. And even Cody made a comment about it, not forgetting it to bring it to full gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not sure how much of that was televised on TV because they went to commercial while he was still doing a lot of that beatdown. But that was good.
And from what I hear, they didn't go to commercial in the first 40 minutes of the show. It was a long intro of action before
they got into commercials.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch. I'll watch it again whenever I get home just to see what's up.
Right.
Yeah. So what match do we have next after that, Rob?
That was MJF and Brandon Cutler.
Okay. I thought this match was horrible.
This is the worst match of the night.
Yeah.
Including dark matches.
I think Brandon Cutler had no business being on TV. There's nothing exciting about Brandon Cutler.
I don't know if he hurt himself because he just slipped off the top rope, but soon after that, they ended the match quick.
Really quick. I mean, I've never seen anybody tap out that fast in my life.
Into an arm bar, essentially, which I guess is one of, in the history of MJF, might be one of his finishing maneuvers. But it didn't have any kind of storyline. I remember that he was working the arm for it to be a tap so quickly, so it was a little, it was a match.
Sloppy.
Yeah, it was a sloppy match.
Yeah. Your thoughts, Rob?
This match, it felt to me like if you blinked, you missed it.
Yes.
There was a lot of, MJF on the mic on the way down the ramp.
Which we couldn't hear. The audio in the arena was horrible.
That's a good point. The audio in the arena was really horrible, and I heard Brock kind of said it was a little bad back on watching on TV at first, too.
Yeah, but Mindy said she didn't have a problem, but she also, listens to the TV very loudly.
Yeah, they didn't have that audio right. You couldn't hear anything. You couldn't hear entrance music, anything anyone was saying. It sounded like Charlie Brown people talking.
Yes.
Yep. But he did a, full cutting a promo on Cutler and everybody in the arena all the way down the ramp.
Yep.
That took just as long to me as the match. It might not have been in reality, but it seemed like there was more substance there than there was in the ring. They just don't.
To me, it looked like someone. It's like I said this when we were eating breakfast. It looked like someone when they teach a celebrity how to wrestle a match back in the WCW days, like Karl Malone. They teach him a couple moves, and then he did a suicide dive and he jumped off the rope. That's what it felt like to me. That's how Cutler's moves looked to me. I just learned this today. I'm gonna try it, and I did it, and I botched it. Couldn't even go up to the second rope without falling down. It was terrible.
Yeah, I gave this one a 2 3/4 stars, and really most
You're
of
being
that
generous.
comes from the promo work at the beginning of what I could have.
Chuck, did you concur?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It was a way to just showcase MJF, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I agree. All right. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so our next match was what?
The women's title match between Rio and Nyla Rose.
Paige and Pac.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Adam Page and Pac went first.
That's right. I forgot
Thoughts on that one, Rob?
I think it was a payoff for what we missed at Double or Nothing, but the hype was gone. There wasn't enough there. That they really wanted to make sure that they got that match to the audience, but the audience had kind of moved past it. Obviously, Paige got his title match. It was a good match.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong; they're both great performers in the ring. I just didn't have any. I didn't have a horse in the race, to be honest.
You didn't have 100 horse Helmsley in the race?
No, 100 horse Helmsley was not in the race, and Hangman did not ride a horse to the ring. So,
No.
Match overall, like I said, storytelling all between the ropes. I gave it 3.5 stars.
Okay. Ken, what do you think of it?
I thought it was good. Hawk can really get heat. Like, him just like the entire commercial break, it's just him like firing up the crowd and not getting in the ring. But then whenever he goes. Like, he's good. I wish he would. I hope that he stays. I hope there's no more drama with that, and he becomes a main fixture in like the AEW landscape. But it's really like 2 losses in a row for Hangman.
Yeah, I don't know what that does for Hangman. 2 big losses like that.
And us talking about that makes it show that this company is actually wins and losses matter.
Yeah.
And like, because if you saw like, oh, Finn Balor lost twice in a row, what do we do with that? Be like, yeah, he's gonna be fine. It's WWE.
Yeah.
So, but I thought it was good.
I just don't understand what it is with Pac that he can just never lose. That's like his whole gimmick now. Like, I don't know. He never did a lot for me as Neville, and he doesn't do a lot for me now. I like Adam Page. I'm excited to see what more they do with him. I like Hangman, but Pac, I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get the Pac love that people get so excited over him, or Pac, or whatever the hell he is.
Right.
What do you think?
I really agree with Rob. I mean, I think the match lost a lot of steam. I thought it was good. I wasn't really into it much, but I think I don't know. I think they should have went with Paige there, but it looks like it's going to be a rematch. Hopefully, Paige gets one back there next time.
I felt like the people behind us, Ken, were so excited over this match.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like overhyping everything that happened.
Yeah.
It's like a kick from Pac, and they're like, "Oh my God, wow!" It's like it's just a kick. Nothing. Yeah. It's not that exciting. They were so excited over every little bump or every little fall. It was really retarded.
Right.
What do we got next?
Next was the women's title match, Rio versus Nyla Rose.
All right. Let's start with Chuck.
It was a better match than I was thinking it was going to be. I was actually really impressed with both women in that match. Honestly, I think they went the right way with that. I don't know. I think Nyla has a little ways to go. I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings on it, but I thought it was a really good match.
All right. Mixed feelings. What do you think, Ken?
Not what we expected. They made Rio real like strong, resilient. Like the storytelling in the match was this like
hard to put away.
Yeah, this the will of Rio can't be destroyed by the monster that is Nyla Rose, and I think it weakened Nyla Rose a lot. Like, I don't know how she's supposed to like honestly take on the Bea Priestleys, the Britt Bakers, the
how's she believable as a monster if you can't squash
Rio? Who's 96 pounds.
Yeah.
Like build 96 pounds. Like, it's rough for me to be behind her as a monster.
Yeah.
And so Rio won tons of near falls in this match. So many. The crowd was so hot for it though, so it was great watching it because you're like, all right, maybe she is gonna the whole time we were sitting there, we were going, all right, so Nyla Rose is gonna really win this match, probably handedly. But the near falls, and you're like, she might actually pull this out.
Well, there were so many near falls that there was at least 4 times where I thought oh, Rio wins now. Like, she got the upper hand now. She's going to get her. And I'm like, oh, she's not. Then there was about 7 times where you're like, oh, this is Nyla. This is when Nyla pins her. And then she doesn't. It went on way too many of those. Like, they didn't need that many to keep that going.
I don't know. I thought watching it, looking back, oh, it was a great match. I don't understand what you do afterwards with the people involved.
Yeah.
And
I still don't understand how she got out of that submission. She had 300 pounds laying on her.
I don't know if maybe they explained that in the
I don't know. And it looked like she passed out, but then they're like,
Yeah.
oh, the match continues.
Yeah. So.
What do you think, Rob?
I think you have to look at this match two different ways. I think the match of itself, take the storytelling out of it and what we had kind of expected, which was a complete left field shot. But the match itself was really good. There was the spot where Nyla Rose came off the top outside onto the pile of chairs.
Oh, I don't know how she did it.
You won't see that in a lot of men's matches. So there was a lot of good in-ring
Wasn't it confusing,
storytelling.
though, to you that why someone who's built as a monster needed to start using chairs?
Yes.
When, like, you can't beat a 96-pound girl without using chairs.
Yeah,
Like, you got to cheat.
I think that's a little bit of maybe what Chuck said about her being not quite so ready. She really needed to show maybe a little bit more frustration that she couldn't put away somebody that was 96 pounds
Yeah.
and had to resort to that stuff, but it didn't interpret that way.
Not until after the match.
Not until at the end of the match, and the end of the match was she showed frustration. She lost the match, and she, typical heel thing, wasn't walking away, was gonna take liberties. Didn't actually get to Rio, but got to Michael Nakazawa, who apparently will be the champion's translator because Rio does not speak English.
Right.
So, I guess that puts Nakazawa on TV a little bit more as that.
I guess Kenny could too. Doesn't he speak a little Japanese?
Yeah. Kenny had to make the save. Kenny made the save to Rio after Nyla had put away Nakazawa. So you saw the frustration, but I think the storytelling of frustration from Nyla in the match itself could have been better. But
the move that she did to Michael Nakazawa, me and Ken both looked at each other like, why didn't she just do that big power bomb move to Rio? That should have put her away right in the beginning. That power bomb like that.
I guess Britt Baker, and again, we didn't see.
We didn't hear what she was saying.
She was on commentary, so that to me is maybe foreshadowing that she might get the first shot because she was the runner-up in the Battle Royal, or she was just out there because she is going to be the face of the women's division.
Right.
Hopefully, there's some clarification on the TV broadcast side.
All right, let's take a quick pause and then we'll go on to the other ones. All right, so Ken, what do we got next?
So we have the 6-man Bucks, Kenny, the Elite versus Jericho and Ortiz and Santana.
Okay.
It's also kind of confusing because you don't know what's DQable in AEW yet and what's not. And it really seems like their trios matches are under Mexican trios rules,
Mexican
where
rule.
once someone's out of the ring, the other person can just come in and be the legal man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the casual audience will know that, but clearly at the beginning you kind of tell that.
Maybe they said it.
Yeah.
Maybe Tony Schiavone said it.
Also, too, so Moxley shows up, takes out Kenny through a glass table.
Which was a really crazy spot.
Right.
But good.
Good. Yeah, very good.
Somebody threw a hot dog at Moxley.
Yes.
Yeah. Rob, you had a good point. You said you felt like the Moxley thing happened like 5 minutes too early.
Yeah. I think that, the apparent end of the show, and again, we didn't watch, so we don't exactly know where it cut off. We could just maybe see the copyright on the screen. There was a bit of maybe some added, we'll talk about it here in a minute, but there was a bit of added time there, maybe some added stuff where it seemed like they missed their timing cue. Moxley maybe came in too soon.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really get to see a whole lot of Kenny in the match, which is your first maybe U.S. audience taste of Kenny Omega if nobody followed them until they got to TNT.
Right, he didn't really wrestle that much.
And he didn't wrestle. There was a lot. It looks like they fought into the back quite a bit, but that's not really showing what Kenny is. And then, like I said, they had to improvise. I don't know, maybe it wasn't, but it seemed like it was maybe a little bit of improv at the end of the whole segment after the match, where it was about 5 minutes. I looked at my watch and it was like 5 minutes to 10, and I'm like, this is where it probably should have ended. But Moxley, whether it was a missed cue or it just wasn't really thought out, I think it was about 5 minutes too quick.
I really thought the match got better, though, once he was gone. I would like to have seen more Kenny, but they really did a good job continuing that match in a 2-on-3 format. You know, like there was some. I thought it was just going to be like they beat them down after that, but and someone was going to have to come out and tag with them. But you know, credit to the Bucks, they did a good job in that match, like keeping it interesting.
I assume they went to the commercial on TV after the table spot.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot. And actually, that's probably not something that was shown on TV. But Jericho, being Jericho, found the hot dog and grabbed a microphone and made a comment to the crowd about the hot dog.
Yeah.
So I couldn't hear it. I don't know exactly what he said.
All I heard was, did someone really throw a wiener?
Yeah.
And it was like, that's it.
Yep. And they put the microphone down. And they probably came back from commercial.
Well, before we get to the big ending, Chuck, what did you think about the quality of the match, at least?
I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was a little odd, just everything. It turned into a 2-on-3 basically, but I mean, it worked pretty well.
Yeah.
The Bucks can hold their own, even in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Just because of the amount of spots that they can do to fill.
Yeah.
So.
Decent. So then the big ending, Ken, was what occurred then.
So they start beating down the Bucks, and then Cody came out first.
Yes.
Yeah, Cody came out to help.
And then Sammy Guevara came out.
You didn't really know at intro point what Sammy's role was going to be.
Yeah.
And it immediately became clear that he was on Jericho, Santana, Ortiz's side, so it became 3-on-3, then it went to 4-on-3 almost immediately.
And then Dustin came out, so it's 4-on-4. And then out of the crowd came Jack Hager, formerly Jack Swagger,
formerly Jake Strong.
And even at his intro point, he was laying waste to who was standing, and at that point in time, it was the Bucks and the Rhodes boys.
Yeah.
So immediately you thought, okay, you don't know where this is going, and it was like 2 seconds later, he attacked Dustin.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of body piling.
Yeah, dragging them and all, having them stack up.
Yeah, making them stack up in a pile like carnage.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, that's where I thought the show would end. The first body pile up.
Yeah.
But it was a good 5 minutes prior to probably airtime end.
Yeah.
So Jericho, being the consummate professional, got out of the ring and got the bell keeper's table.
Yeah.
Brought it in, and they attempted to do a power bomb through the table with Dustin.
Yeah.
Hager did, and the table didn't give.
No, and then he rolled off, and the whole
thing
split.
came apart. Right. So, that's what leads me to believe that was maybe a little bit of improvisation at the end, because it wasn't a friendly table. It didn't seem very organized. Of all the chairs that were underneath that ring, there was no table, typical wrestling table. So, your final shot was the heel crew standing in the ring, Jericho with a typical Jericho face, I don't.
Like what you do.
Guess what? That type of situation, and then I think the final shot was Hager, close up on Hager's face, just looking pretty
fixing
intense.
his hair.
Yeah. So with a pile of bodies in the ring.
Okay. And they all stood in unison. They got a lot of shots of them all this is going to be a group. This is a stable to deal with.
Yeah.
This is the anti-elite.
And at the time, you could assume that, but it was kind of maybe a little bit more confirmed today when Jericho posted the photo of them standing in the ring saying, "What are you going to do about it? We're here now."
Yeah.
That type of situation. So, a large stable potentially could be formed almost immediately on their television broadcast. We can fantasy book names and all that kind of stuff, but I think it's cool. I think it's definitely the anti-elite taking it to them, basically laying claim into a company that is new and they feel is not going to be run by the elite.
They're all champions from other companies.
Yes.
They all have establishments, AAA, Impact, WWE. They're all held gold other places.
Yep. And you have a tag team. You have a middle card guy. You have two large. Main event, obviously title holder, and a big man.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Swagger looks great, and Hager looks great as a muscle, for Guevara or for Jericho, like it looks good.
Yep. And like we said last night with Jericho saying earlier that he might not be at every show every week because he has Fozzy stuff and things to do, then his henchmen are on.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you can still fight with and feud with and keep storylines.
Jericho has always performed well with someone else, whether it be Kevin Owens' run or
Big Show.
Yep, that sort of thing. Somebody, he could be the brains and the, and the cunning, almost like Shawn Michaels used to be.
Yeah.
That sort of thing, and in his absence, there's still significant representation.
Good. All right. Well, we're gonna pause a minute, and then we'll wrap up with some dark matches at the end. All right. So we had a couple dark matches. We'll just wrap up with some of those. Can you do the first one? What we have?
So it was an 8-man tag. It was Best Friends, Chucky T and Trent Beretta, and who was with them? It was
Private Party.
With Orange Cassidy was on the outside versus the Lucha Bros and Helico and Jack Evans. So Lucha Bros won. It was a good match.
Best part of this match was the guy in the crowd yelling, "Who's the legal man?"
Yeah.
Remember, because it was like people just running around crazy,
Right.
and he didn't know who was legal. That was pretty funny.
Yes.
Something was off about Angelico. I don't know. I get those two confused. The one that doesn't wear the full body suit.
That's Jack Evans.
Jack Evans.
Okay, so Jack Evans wears a full body suit.
No, and
Okay.
Helico wears a
So
full body
Evans
suit.
was he tried to get into the ring over the top rope, hooked the top rope, fell right on his face on the canvas. He just seemed off. Like even during the little bit. I mean, we missed a couple bits. There was a bit with Kevin Smith and Jay Muse where Private Party came out in the crowd during the main show.
Yeah.
And they kind of walked down the ring real fast and got in their face. And
Yeah, there's a
he
lot
just
of-
seemed a little bit off. But that the match was entertaining. A lot of spots. A good dark match. They were recording these, so
Yeah.
we all have speculation on what they're going to do with these matches. But you had the Lucha Brothers go over.
Yeah.
So,
And then what was the next one?
the women's tag match: Britt Baker and Allie versus Bea Priestley and Penelope Ford.
Yeah.
A good match. I had a conversation with Chuck during this match. Britt Baker being from our area, she definitely shows a little greenness when it comes to women's tagging because she doesn't. She's a good performer, but maybe she lacks in the tag team world because her upbringing, I guess you could call it, in IWC, there wasn't enough women for her to tag with in matches.
Singles, yeah.
And
Just
it's,
singles matches.
She doesn't really necessarily have the flow for like tagging in or switching out.
Yeah.
And it was apparent in a couple of spots, and it was like that at Fyter Fest too. We know she had a concussion, whether that played into it or not, but it was apparent a little bit in this match. But
Not a bad match. It was okay.
Match. Yep.
It was all right. And then Kevin was the last one.
It was Jurassic Express
Yeah, versus SCU.
versus SCU, and SCU won by beating.
Just a lot of
Buck and
comedy
Studd.
in this
Yeah.
one. A lot of people chanting Luchasaurus to get in the ring, and
They were-
Luchasaurus is over.
Yeah, that team is starting to overshadow the SCU.
Yeah.
SCU came out and did their little thing with Christopher Daniels with the microphone, and it was very quiet, very quiet. They were trying to get the crowd into it.
yeah,
A
Throwing
lot of
hands
people
up.
left for these though too.
A lot of
people left.
But he didn't get. They're not getting the reaction. It's been a year. It's been a year since the SCU thing has really took off. Since All In last year in August. So it's not a. This bit doesn't have legs to me for much longer.
Yeah.
Chuck, what was your favorite dark match at the end?
Favorite dark match? I'd say probably the 8-man tag match.
The 8-man. I agree. The 8-man was good. More exciting.
Yeah.
And then at the end we had SCU just kind of did a farewell speech.
Yeah.
Thanked everybody. Said everybody's AEW instead of their SCU, and
We are a revolution.
Yeah.
The typical patronization that happens after every one of these shows.
get all the fanboys all excited.
Yep.
All right.
Make them feel part of it.
Good stuff. right, so there you go. That was our official wrap up of the entire trip. Us riding limes around the city and all the other nonsense we got up to, sweating our asses off. We should have recorded making best friends on the train, but we didn't get to do that.
That's a story for another podcast.
It's a story for another podcast. But thank you, Ken, for bringing me along. Thank you, Rob, for the trip and the hotels, and it was an all-around good time. Good experience. So thanks for
Much
listening.
like a circle jerk, it was an all-around good time.
It was. Thanks for watching this. If you sat through all this, and Chuck, take us out. Say goodbye.
See you later.
Later.
Hot top free better